welcome back to my channel. So, who says that you need to travel to experience the world? I kind of do, but when we can't travel, cooking a dish traditional from a specific country might just be the next best thing. So, welcome to Dishes from Around the World, where we learn about other cultures through their food. So, today we're gonna make a Spanish paella, and it cannot get more traditional than that for the country of Spain, because that is the most popular dish. Now, everybody says that their recipe is the best, but let me tell you something. First of all, there are at least 5 different variations of a paella depending on the region in Spain. And also, all the ingredients that people put in the paella are gonna be dependent upon what is available. That's the whole point. That is the origin of the paella. And actually, so you can appreciate the dish even more, let's take a look at a 60-second history lesson so we know what we're gonna be making today. All right.
Spain was conquered in the year 711 by the Moors, who are the people from Morocco and Algeria. This occupation lasted almost 800 years, and very early on the Moors introduced rice to Spain, and they taught farmers to utilize whichever vegetables and meats were available in the region, and thus paella was created. The flavor and the color of each paella is going to vary depending on the base used. For example, tomato paste will turn the rice red, saffron will turn it yellow, and squid ink will turn it black. Today we'll use saffron, which is the most expensive spice in the world, but lucky for you, we only need half a teaspoon, which only costs just a couple of dollars.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I thought so too. Well, today I'm so excited to make the paella for 2 reasons. 1, because I'm starving, and 2, because it's a very traditional dish in my family. So my grandparents were born in Spain. I was born in Chile, but I was raised eating paella, then learning how to make the paella. So for me, it's just a very traditional dish in my family. And as I mentioned, there are different variations of a paella. The one that we're gonna make today is called the Paella Mixta, or mixed paella. And the reason why it's called that way is because not only does it have chicken and pork, chorizo in this case, which is pork, but it also has seafood. So I chose shrimp just because that's what it was available at the store, and that is the reason why it's called mixta or mixed, because it has like a little bit of every type of meat available. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients here in the screen in a few seconds. I'm also going to post the ingredients on the description down below as well if you need it. So here we go. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the saffron broth. And for that, you're gonna need the shrimp in the shell, and you're gonna need an empty container. You'll see why here in a minute. You're gonna need the chicken wings, or whichever format you like the chicken. And of course, we're gonna need the saffron threads. They're right there, very delicate. And we're gonna need the chicken broth as well. I'm gonna stir this up just a little bit. And the oil. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the shrimp, and it has the shell, and we're just going to open it up, and we're gonna take the shell out. The actual shrimp is gonna go in the container, and the shell itself, the empty shell, is gonna go in the pan. So we're gonna use this pan, and we're gonna put the empty shells of the shrimp in there. So we're gonna turn the heat on high. We're gonna pour the oil. I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna set them aside so they don't get too hot because I don't want to cook the shrimp just yet, just the shells. And then I'm gonna put the wings and I'm just gonna saute them. Like so. Okay, so 2 minutes into it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the saffron and just pour it into the pan like so. Maybe stir it a little bit more. At this point, it's not on super high anymore. It's kind of like probably 4.5 out of 6 in terms of the heat. And they're starting to brown. That's perfect. And at this point, I'm going to pour the chicken broth. Lower that to a 3 out of 6 in terms of the heat. And so we're gonna leave that cooking for about 10 minutes. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and prepare the rice. I'm gonna lower this maybe at, I don't know, 2.5 out of 6. So that probably is gonna be like medium low. And let's go ahead and make the rice. All right, so while the saffron broth is cooking with the chicken, we're gonna make the actual rice. We're gonna assemble the rice. Now, I'm using this, just it's personal preference. So this is like the electric pot, which I like. So I'm just gonna set it up on probably high right now, just to get things started. And I'm gonna put the oil, but you can use a regular pot in the stove. You don't have to use this by any means. It's just a matter of preference for me. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the chorizo. All right, so as the chorizo is cooking, we're gonna put the onions and fry them too. And we can also put the garlic as well. It smells so good. And we're gonna stir a little bit more. Probably 3 more minutes. And we can put the rice right now. There we go. Okay, so while the rice is cooking, we are going to get the chicken out of the broth. And we're gonna put it in a container. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for a second. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain the broth, because remember it had the shrimp shells. So we're gonna put a colander here. We're just gonna strain it. The shells at this point we can just throw away. We don't need them. And here is the most flavorful broth that you'll probably ever taste in your life. And I'm gonna put a little bit more water because I need at least 2 cups of broth for the rice. Okay, so as the rice is sauteing, I think that's probably plenty good. We are going to pour the 2 cups of broth that we just created with the chicken and the shrimp shells. I'm just gonna pour them here. It smells so delicious. And at this point we're gonna put the paprika, the cayenne, the salt as well. And I just lower the temperature to, let's say, 300. If you were cooking this on a regular pot in the stove, I would put it at the lowest possible point that you can put. So I'm gonna put the chicken, which should be cooked for the most part. That's where the broth came from. And I'm just gonna put it here like so, as I stir. Let me see if I can do the simmer thing. It's gonna be boiling for a few minutes, but that's quite alright. And now, I'm gonna put the beef all around. Oh, come on, settle down. I'm gonna put the peas all around. Yeah, that's much better. I'm gonna put the uncooked shrimp on top of it. And like I said, you don't have to put shrimp if you don't like shrimp. You can put mussels instead, or any type of seafood that you like, or no seafood at all. Whatever you want to do. Okay, very pretty. And now that we have the rice, the peas, the chicken, the shrimp all laid out, like so, we are going to spread the red pepper all throughout on top. Nice and pretty. One for the road. And that's it. We're gonna go ahead and cover that. And maybe do, I would say, probably simmer, like one above simmer maybe. And that's it. Now we wait 20, I would say 20-25 minutes. And we'll come back. Is it single? Yes, it is on. Okay, so it's been actually 25 minutes, and so I really think it's ready. Now we're gonna go ahead and open this up, and we are very carefully going to stir like so. Oh yeah, this is definitely ready. Ooh, so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Yeah. And now I'm able to move it a little bit this way so you can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. Ooh, smells delicious. Whew. That was fun. Look at this. How pretty. So there it is. Paella Mixta. We're just going to pour some here and give it a try, and the rest we're just gonna leave covered for about 5-10 minutes before we serve that. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so here we go. Let's give it a try. Let's see what this tastes like. Oh my god. Amazing. Oh, so good. Sorry, I couldn't wait. This was amazing. So I cannot wait for you to let me know how your turns out. Make sure that you have your glass of wine with a paella, of course. Some people say white wine with paella. I like my red wine, so it doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy, that's what life is about anyway, right? So cheers, salud. So when it's ready to be served, just make sure you put it in whatever container you want, and you can actually put garnish. I normally put cilantro to just about everything because I love cilantro, but some people say that cilantro is not a very Spaniard flavor, but you know what? I don't care, and you shouldn't either. So you put whatever you want, or no garnish at all, whatever makes you happy. So this is the end result. Looks really good, and I cannot wait to serve it, and I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next episode of Dishes Around the World. See you next time.